Welcome back, everybody. So my next movie review for you is The Blair Witch Project. But once again, before I get into this review, if you like watching my reviews, if you could please like, share, and subscribe, that would be very, very much appreciated. So The Blair Witch Project was released on the 25th of January, 1999. Its director was Eduardo Sanchez. It was made on a budget of 750,000 US dollars and made 248.6 million US dollars. The cast in this movie consists of Heather Donahue, Michael C. Williams, Joshua Leonard, and that is it. So in this Blair Witch movie, we follow three students who decide to make a documentary about the Blair Witch incidents, which happened years prior before they decided to make this documentary. And it isn't long when they enter this wood before strange and weird stuff starts to happen to them. Now, what do I honestly think about the Blair Witch Project? Now, this is a movie where most people will either love it or they hate it. And I absolutely love this movie to bits. I really, really do. I remember the first time I watched it and I still love it to this day. It's as simple as that. And I'll get into those reasons right about now. Go, the Blair Witch Project movie review. Okay, so like I said at the beginning of this video, you're going to have two types of people. You're going to have people that really, really love it, and you're going to have people that really, really hate it. And I'm more than happy to hold my hands up and go, I absolutely love this movie. And I realise that this movie is actually now over 20 years old, but the one thing that always stands out for me when I think about the Blair Witch Project is the promotional campaign before its release. It was absolutely fantastic what they did here, and probably one of the best promotional campaigns to do with a movie release ever. Now, you can argue with me as much as you like with that one, but this is something that I truly believe in because they really, really convinced people that this was real footage of three students going into a wood that never come back, and they found the footage. They nailed this 8 months prior to its release to the fact of that they told all three of the main actors to actually lay low for 6 to 7 months before it's released to convince audiences that this is real footage. It's an absolutely fantastic promotional campaign which got a lot of people into the cinema. Now, I have to be honest with you, I never actually went to the cinema to see this, and I kind of regret that just a little bit, to be fair. I watched this about 6 months later, and I still love it as much as I did the first time. And if I was to be 100% honest, I probably watched this movie about 20 odd times, and every time I watch it I always see something new or different because I'm looking for it, because there's always something that I want to see, and I'm always skeptical that they might have stuck something into this movie which I never have seen before. Now, you do not see a lot in this movie, okay? You don't see anything in this movie, okay? A lot of this is left up to your imagination, but the thing that stands out about this movie is the fact it's massive sense of realism. Now, a lot of people say that the acting in here is actually crap. It's not. It's actually really, really good for what they're trying to produce or what they're trying to show you. I think it's absolutely superb in every single way because there is all sorts of mixture of emotions going through these performances in this movie, and I think they nail them in every single way to the point of losing their minds. They're stuck in this wood. They're lost. They keep going around in circles. Are they ever going to get out of this wood? You really get this kind of sense of feeling. Now, I admit this movie doesn't have the same effect on me as it did the first time I watched it, but I still get that ever sense. It's like, please find your way out. I'm begging you, just get your heads together and find a way out. Even though I know the conclusion of this movie, you still are rooting for them to get out because you don't want anything bad to happen, because you do grow an emotional attachment to the characters in here. And they're doing this from like this kind of home video kind of filming style, which I think they nail in every single way. I really enjoy this movie, and there's not a huge amount to talk about with this movie, but what they did is absolutely fantastic, and I still get creeped out every now and again by watching this movie, depending on when I watch it and how I watch it. So this morning I watched it as I got up. It's all nice and light here, but other times I watched it is in the dark, and I do like watching movies in the dark, especially horror movies, because you really then get that kind of ever kind of anxiety feeling that grows inside of you when you watch a horror movie, and there is that creep factor, and they do this really, really well. I will always sing this movie's praises every single time. One, because of the promotional campaign. Two, because it's an absolutely fantastic watch in every single way. And three, like I said, I don't get exactly the same kind of effect as the first time I watched it, but I still get creeped out at certain points of this movie, and this just makes it so entertaining for me. And I do highly recommend this movie if you haven't seen it. Like I said, you might watch it and absolutely despise it or hate it, but you might watch it and actually go, "Actually, you know what? That's actually a really, really good movie." Now, in recent movies, I've been actually going down a new take of going less is more. This movie is a prime example of this because you don't actually see anything. You do not see the sinister evil which is going through this wood, okay, at all. You're just hinted on it, you hear it. It's all about audible sounds, which I just think is an absolutely fantastic touch. And just the conclusion to this movie is just, yes, okay, it's a bit a depressing end, but it works, and it works really, really well, and it has a very, very good effect on me, and it always will have a great effect on me. And knowing that this movie is now over 20 years old as well, and I still get enjoyment from this, is the reason why I'm going to give this movie probably I'm going to give this 10 out of 10. If I had a high rating out of 10, I would probably give this 100 out of 100. It's as simple as that, because I do generally love this movie a lot, and I've said this a lot in that movie review, but there you go. So on that note, please stay tuned for 5 bonus facts to do with the Blair Witch Project, which are coming up now. Okay, fact number 1. Each of the 3 main actors in this movie got paid £1,000 a day for 8 days. That's not a bad payout. I think it was like an 8-day shoot, and to get $1,000, I should actually say, is actually fantastic. But apparently when the film got released and they got paid from that, I think they walked away with $300,000 each. Not a bad payout for 8 days work, really, is it? Should be an actor, really, really should. So, fact number 2, the sound of children actually terrified Mike in this movie. Now, Eduardo Sanchez actually recorded his neighbour's children playing out in the garden, and they played it for a boombox in the middle of the night in this wood, and it actually creeped out Mike. Now, I can 100% understand why, because even watching this movie, there is a very, very sinister, creepy vibe, and there is something about ghost children in movies which really scare the shit out of me, and I think they really, really captured this very, very well. It's to the fact that if it scared one of the main actors, even though he knew it was coming, doing a pretty good job. So, fact number 3, shooting finished on this movie on Halloween night, apparently. So there you go. This is a random fact, but to finish it on Halloween night, yeah, okay. Interesting day, let me put it like that. So, fact number 4, 19 hours of footage was edited down to 90 minutes. It took 8 months for this movie to be cut for its release, basically. So 19 hours of footage got reduced to 90 minutes in 8 months. That's a long editing period. But again, they do this, and they do this very, very well, in my personal opinion. So, fact number 5. I've already mentioned this in the movie review. I didn't realise this, is that the cast basically got told to lay low or go into hiding for 6 to 7 months before its release because of the promotional campaign that they were trying to do to get people into the cinema, because they wanted to convince people that this is actually real footage. They nailed this. I mentioned it into the movie review so many times, and I think they've done an absolutely fantastic job of this movie in every single way, strictly because of the promotional campaign as well. Whether you enjoy the movie or not, you cannot flaw the promotional campaign to this. It's absolutely spot on and on point. So there were many facts about this movie, but I just chose those 5 as normal. So I hope everybody has a great rest of the day, whatever you're doing. Please take care, and goodbye.